Hello, 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 and welcome to Workouts for Older Men Live. I am 𝗬cie 𝗨𝗏. So glad you are joining me. I'm here to answer your questions tonight. This is the time to come on, say hello, hello, hello. Tell me where you're watching me from. Post your questions in the comment section. We can get into a conversation. Tell me if you're watching me on my Facebook page, at 𝗬cie 𝗨𝗏 page, or my Workouts for Older Men page. Maybe you're watching from YouTube at 𝗬cie 𝗨𝗏. Make sure you're on all of my social media platforms, all the different formats, short videos over on TikTok. We've got longer conversational ones like I do this one over on YouTube and on Facebook, where I can really take some time to talk. All right. Hello, 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 Pete, watching on Facebook. So about 12 and a half hours ago on Facebook, I did some morning cardio. All right. So I'm doing it at 4 a.m. my time. Now we're at 4:30. Had a call, with asking. I talk a lot one-on-one with men just like you, and that call went went a little bit longer, but I'm planning on being here every 12 hours, 4 a.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Eastern time, and then 4 p.m. At night, 4 p.m. Pacific time, and then 7 p.m. Eastern time. And whatever part of the world you're in, we're broadcasting to a international audience. I know that. Sanchez, how are you doing, sir? Great to have you here, sir. Hello, hello, hello. We're watching on YouTube. Barry, Skip, I have a problem burning visceral fat. Oh, that's a great question. All right, great question there. I'll dig into that, Barry. Great question. Let me say hello, and I'll get back to them to you there. Devin, I've shifted to more reps and less weight. Is that okay? Why have you done that? I'm curious, Devin. What's the strategy behind doing more reps with less weight? All right, got to do things with a purpose, right? Oh, good. You got that email, Success Secrets. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Toy, good morning. What part of the world are you from? Toy over on Facebook. Great to have you here. Patrick, hello, hello, hello. Again, Skip, this morning's podcast was very informative. Just finished doing arms, 40-minute workout. Tell me what was so informative, Patrick. I want to know, right? Because I've been talking about this for 33 years. It's been my obsession. I've talked to thousands of men, thousands of articles. So, I am just spitting out my experiences helping out men like you. And I want to know what you find most valuable. And think about, if you're watching this over on YouTube or on Facebook, post down below and just think about, I'm going to ask you at the end of the time you spend, whether it's for 2 minutes or if I'm here for 20 minutes, what have you found most valuable about the time that you're going to spend with me? All right, post that in the comment section. I love hearing that, so I can do more of that for you. So Toy, you're from Cambodia. All right. All right. So Devin doesn't want to hurt himself. So, hey, if you have to lighten up, heavy light. I mean, some people are stronger than others. We're all not as strong as you used to be, but if you don't feel comfortable, you think you're going to hurt yourself, well, definitely lighten the weight. But whether you lighten the weight or not, do you want to fight hard to keep your muscle? Right. So if you have lighter weight and you do more reps at the end, it's got to feel heavy, right? You're just doing more reps, so, you lift a 25-pound dumbbell. If you do enough reps that create that overload in that set, really, it may be only 25 pounds, but because you're doing so many reps, it should, feel heavy. You got to stabilize yourself. I don't know. You could get hurt. It's interesting. Do people really get hurt using heavy weight? Is that really true? I mean, it seems like that is the way that it works. Most people, I've been in the gym for 33 years. I'm not sure if all these injuries is because all these guys are challenging themselves to heavy weight. It's not. It's fluke things. something informed, just tweaking. Maybe one arm is doing this where the other one is doing that, and that may not be noticeable. But in my opinion, very rarely is it heavyweight. Now, again, the traditional thing would be, you lift heavyweight, you could get hurt. From my experience, not personally, but observing it, I very rarely, have any annoyances. But it's when you lift more weight, you're usually tight and tense. You're focusing. I'm not talking about, some bodybuilder is pushing it to the absolute limit, or he's doing some photo shoot, or he's doing some, feat of strength for their YouTube or social media. But a lot of times it's not lifting a heavy weight that causes injury. But you got to do what you feel comfortable with. If lighting weight is, you certainly don't want to get hurt, then you should lighten the weight. What's the best supplement for boosting a testosterone? Well, there's no over-the-counter. I can't support, I can't endorse, can't recommend any over-the-counter supplements that will boost testosterone. So Pete says, I will be 59 next month and still go heavy as possible for 4 to 6 reps. All right. You're welcome, Devin. I hope that's helpful. Thank you so much. Toy, what is different? The word complete and finish. What's the difference between the two? Complete and finish. Put it in context for me. I know you're from Cambodia, and I'll do my best to help you. Put in the context that you need help understanding. I stay in the U.S. Yes, I am in California. Let's see here. Yeah. So Patrick, what was it? What was informative about it? I'm going to be doing that double sessions, right? Every 12 hours. If you follow me enough, I get on these little kicks where, I just get on here live. I want to connect around the world at the time that's convenient for you. Got things set up where it's rather easy for me to do that if my schedule clears out. And then it's just all about me coming up with fresh material. And, it's probably everything I've talked about, probably thousands of times. My goal is to talk about it with so much excitement and passion. Like I've never talked about it, because I know that's what's, important to you. All right. But it helps me when I get up in the morning that, Patrick, you're waiting, you like this type of material. I'm more than happy to do that. All right. Let's see here. You guys have any questions? Just want to hang out? We can do that too. Let's see what time. So I'm planning to do it. I was looking at my current schedule, like from 4 o'clock to 4:15. I should have time before I prepare my kids for their pregame rituals, and I got to pretty much be ready to leave by about 4:15, 4:20 to get them off for our events during the week. Do I still follow Tony Robbins? I'd say definitely yes. When I see him on social media, sometimes I feed my mind with him. Definitely a lot of conversations. Like, for example, one of my coaching clients, he just went through his online event that he had this past weekend. So I help him give my interpretation, my understanding, help create clarity. That was just this week. Obviously, he was preparing that for last week. With my kids, we do these rituals every single morning, and a lot of it is that I've learned from the masters, right? So we influence, persuasion, perspective, all the things. Like I said, success secrets. There's a story behind that, Santosh. Those are the rules that we live by. I guess I'm going to post that. I know that, but it's in the community section over on YouTube, and then I posted it down below on Facebook. I'm going to grab that right now for you. I'll post it in the comment section down below. here. I'll tell you about the success secrets, and I'll tell you the story behind it, and then also it'll tie into why I'm talking about this as we're talking about Tony Robbins. So let's see here. All right. Shift this over. You guys have any fitness questions, life questions, unique to men at our age? Feel free. I'm more than happy to talk about things other than fitness if that interests you. All right, let's see here. So I called this blog post, I called it 10 tips to have the body and life you want now that you're a little bit older. All right, so let me kind of put this cool story behind this. Well, I think it's cool. I know it's cool, and hopefully you will too. All right, so let's see what we can post in this comment section. Let's see, I only get 200. Yeah, I'm going to have. Yeah, so I'll post that when I log off in the comment section of this video. But I called it, 10 tips to have the body and life that you want now that you're a little bit older. And how this ties in is I've just been a student of personal development. Tony Robbins. It started off with Zig Ziglar 36 years ago, and it put me on a journey where all the masters. I mean, I invested in so many audio courses and books, and and the story and how it ties in is so every morning, and we've been doing this. My kids are 9.5 and 8, and time flies by. But I bet we've been doing this for 5 years, and my son's only 8. At least 5 years. In the mornings, we ask ourselves certain questions. Actually, if you've been following myself on Facebook, I'll do it every couple months, right? Because I think it's such valuable material. It's 9 questions that we ask ourselves. The 4 of us, we go round robin, right? I really believe, the questions that you ask yourself, and that's what, Tony Robbins says, looking for the answers to the right questions in life, spark your imagination. If you ask yourself great questions of, how can I be more awesome today? Or, man, how great is it going to be when I have that body I want? You ask yourself those questions are, can I ever do that? Can a man my age ever get in shape? Can I ever lose the man boobs? The quality of the questions you ask spark resourcefulness and imagination, right? So from a very young age, I've been training my kids which questions to ask themselves. Every morning, what are you grateful for? They've got to spout something off. What makes you happy? What do you love about yourself? Let me just think about that. From the age of 3 years old, you had to come up with a reason in front of your family, something you love about yourself. What kind of confidence would that build? You got to look around. Well, my daughter, my beautiful blue eyes, or that we're in a little thing. They say it. They say, I am an amazing athlete. My son says, I'm a beast, right? I mean, every day you have to stand up and deliver what you think about yourself. All right. So we do that every morning. And a lot of times I give lessons I'm their motivational speaker. And I talk about how I've learned from the masters. And so they know the name Tony Robbins. They know Zig Ziglar. They know all the motivational speakers, Dr. Norman Vincent Peale. It's interesting, my son, it was his 5th birthday, I remember, and he did this. I got to find that, he did this little 3-minute speech by Dr. Norman Vincent Peale, Expect the Best. It was just a great, 3-minute little segment from his audio book, the magic of positive thinking. Anyway, Dr. Norman uh, the power of positive thinking. And so it was an audiobook, and so I just recorded it. I would play it, and I'm telling you, he's an amazing kid, because I bet he didn't listen to that more than 10 times, and he memorized the whole thing, right? Kind of garbled a couple words, but he was 5, but it was great. So those are the names and what we talk about a lot here, right? With these kids, and again, from a young age. You know, um, my mother died, and we just, had a service. And, one thing we do during this time, it's an hour and 20 minutes that we spend in the morning. It's very structured. It's a system that we have. But we give away awards, because as we go through those 9 questions, it's one, and then the other, all 4. We gamify it. We have a stop clock there. We want to get it under 10 minutes. But we have awards, and, uh, who had the highest energy, who was the most resourceful, right? We have certain awards like the 𝗬𝗲 Award. I mean, who really goes for it? Because I want to, teach my kids that anything great that you want is going to take courage and risk. You got to get your hopes up. You got to, if you get your hopes up, you're going to fail, and you're going to feel the pain of loss. What I don't want, I want my kids to live in a passionate range and enjoy the great times, but also be prepared for when you love life hard and it doesn't work out. My son is a great example of that. And he taught me a lot of lessons, right? Because what you don't want is you force yourself not to get too happy and too sad. So these are the type of lessons that we talk about, all the time. We have the 𝗬𝗏 Pride Award. All right. And my mother, um, you know, she didn't even have a high school diploma. A lot of challenges growing up, and she was not perfect, but she was gutsy. She was determined. I mean, the things that she accomplished were just amazing. But probably more amazing, whatever you think, you know, of me being her son from that type of upbringing in Harlem in New York, right? Pretty much left her family at 16, 17 years old, right? And never looked back. Father died at a young age. What she made of herself just through sheer heart and imagination. Again, it wasn't a perfect route. She's not perfect. She wasn't perfect, but she did a lot of amazing things. It really made me really define what success is. Now, you got to understand is that I work with the most successful men that you can imagine. I mean, things that they've accomplished, are just amazing. Their education, how much money they earn, what they've accomplished, amazing, right? But I don't care, how successful they are. Everyone has challenges, right? Everybody goes through a range of happiness and sadness, and you'd be surprised someone who has accomplished so much, what they might be dealing with. But we're all dealing with something, right? And um, it made me really define that success. It's not how much money you have, and you hear those things. It's not certainly not how deep your abs are, right? It made me understand that success is. Look, some people, like I see this with fitness influencers like all the time, whether they're women or men. Uh, they have an amazing, tremendous following, right? But it's just so influential when you're attractive. It's not even about the body. When we're just attracted to attractive people, and they have such an advantage. They get their word has a lot more credibility, and that may work for me to an extent, myself. All right, but that's how it works, right? Those are gifts from God. You didn't have anything to do with it. I tell my daughter, I said, look, with those beautiful blue eyes, all the rest of us have brown eyes. She's got these bright blue eyes. That's the first thing that people say. She gets so many compliments. I said, enjoy those. But that's a gift from God. You didn't earn that. How you play in sports, how you work in school, that is something that you've earned, right? That is something you should take pride in. I mean, take pride in, attractiveness or the color of your eyes. But what you should really, what you should take pride in is where you start to where you finish. And that's the biggest lesson that I learned from my mom, that success is not, what you have. It's the gap that you create from where you start in life. She didn't start with much at all, but where she finished, her children and her grandchildren. I mean, for a woman who didn't even get a high school diploma, to, have grandchildren that graduated from Santa Barbara, Manhattan College, St. John's, right? That's quite a leap in a lifetime. And that just taught me that's what success. And you know what? I know you guys appreciate, what I've accomplished as a 6-time champion or what I do today. All right. But I mean, compared to my mom, where she allowed me to start to where I am right. I'm not finished yet, though. Her gap is much, much bigger than mine. And that's how, that's how it helped me define success. And, over time, I really understood a lot of the qualities that I didn't appreciate. And I'm just to let you know this, I'm not saying this just because my mother recently died and we just had a service. I created this 𝗬𝗲𝗃 Pride Award in her honor, right, to teach my kids, to pass along her character, her grittiness. All right. This, I don't even know, like 3 years ago, we created a trophy and that we do at this presentation, the 𝗬𝗃𝗃 Pride Award, right? And it is those 10 things that they're posted in the community section on YouTube, and they're right here on Facebook. And I kind of reframed it, relabeled it as how to get the body and life that you want. My mother exemplified those qualities, and those are the qualities that I'm instilling in my kids. And again, this started a long time ago. One of the rituals, the systems that we do is and who will win and it's always the best award. It's the last one. Who's going to win the most cherished award today, the 𝗬𝗃𝗃 Pride Award. And then I go to this, if my wife is watching, bring that, laminated where we have these 10 things that I posted. All right. And I read them all off, repetition over and over and over again, what it means to have 𝗬𝗃𝗃 pride. So they learn about Tony Robbins and the influence he's had on me and others. Marshall Silver is another mentor of mine. And we went down to Southern California on Saturday for my mom's, just a great, ceremony. And, my sister put together an amazing event that she would have been really happy with. And, we all spent that time there. And, my kids, they did a presentation, which, I mean, they just nailed it. I can't be more proud of them because my sister said, hey, can they talk about the 𝗬𝗃𝗃 Pride Award, right? And they went up there, and it was a group of people. I just thought it was going to be a living room with, 10 family members, but it was a group of people that was probably like 60 people, and they just at 9.5 and at 8, they just stood and delivered. I was thinking they would be nervous, but they didn't. And what was great about, not only did they stand and deliver, and there's so many compliments about their energy and the lessons that the people learned. They learned, right? There was a woman who was older, and she was in a wheelchair, and she came up and she said, you know what? I was sitting here complaining about my situation, and when your kids read off, all these qualities that they live by, it said, what am I complaining about, right? And so, yeah, and just the way they presented, and what was cool about it was that they weren't just reading words. You can tell through repetition they knew what the words meant. So, Grandma 𝗬𝗃𝗃 lives on, in those qualities that I talked about. So you definitely want to look at it. And when this is over, I will post it. But you can check it out on YouTube and on Facebook. But I'll put it in the comment section of this video. So anyway, thank you for allowing me to tell that story. I hope that you found value in it. But so yes, Tony Robbins is a part of our everyday life in my kids' life. Right. So let me catch up on some of these questions. Thank you for the question. Let's see here. All right. So Patrick said, when you were talking about nutritional value, okay. Awesome. Thank you. So I asked Patrick what he found most valuable. And I want you to be posting in the comment section before you leave. I don't care if you're watching for a couple more minutes or the entire time that I hear. Tell me what you find most valuable about our time together here. Let's see. Oh, with George. Yeah. Talk with George. You might that was interesting. That was the first time I ever had a split screen and invited somebody on who was just a viewer, just like you. I have that ability. All right. With Rich, I think that was his name, was driving a garbage truck while you were alive. Okay. I think that was somebody else. I'm not sure. What should I do if I want to become a professional speaker of English? Speak a lot of English. Get around a lot of people who speak English. Repetition, repetition, repetition. Challenge yourself. Hello, Tim. Great to have you here. All right, Joel. Hello. How are you? My good friend. Nice to see your transmission. Thank you very much. And you are terrific. Thank you. Thank you for being here, Joel. Thank you for the kind words too. It's been a while since I've been on social media. I've been working though, working around a bicep tendon issue. Hope that's you get a nice recovery from that. Love you are doing this. My mother passed away at 44 years old, bladder cancer. 3/27/2006. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Tim. Oh wow. It's weird that I'm having this program tonight talking about my mother just one day after your mother's anniversary of her death. Yeah. Randeep, hello. Huge admirer. Thank you so much. If we don't feel sleepy at night, but end up sleeping 7 or 8 hours in the entire day, will be sufficient enough. Well, quality of sleep sometimes, Randeep, is more important than how long you sleep. I tell you, I go to sleep at 8 o'clock with my kids, and man, I hit it hard. And I can pretty much wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning. Well, that's not bad. That's 6 hours. And I'm ready to go. But it's a hard 6 hours, right? So it's the quality of sleep. I guess what the experts say, it's that how deep and is the quality of the REM sleep is what's most important rather than time. Get to sleep in India. Guy, hello, hello, hello. Great to have you here, sir. Okay, see me on YouTube. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. A lot of gold nuggets by Skip. Well, thank you so much, sir. All right. So look for me about this time every day. I'm going to commit to my 4 p.m. Pacific time and 4 a.m. Pacific time. Now, if you are on YouTube, I usually am doing cardio. I have a different setup kind of from my phone, so I only broadcast, at least for right now, on Facebook at 4 a.m. So come over there at 𝗬cie 𝗂 page. All right. If you guys are interested in one-on-one coaching, you want to talk about this life stuff, want to tell me about what's going on, take you through a goal setting session, planning the next phase of your life, reach out to me. I'll put my phone number down there. Just go ahead and text me. We can set up a call. I talk to everyone. If you are even interested in coaching, before we even take one step further to see if it's the right thing for you, if I'm the right person for you, if I can help you, I'll spend time talking to you. before you make any commitment, exchange any money at all. We spend the time talking about it, right? Very selective for both you and myself, who I coach. All right, so reach out. All right, so that's going to do it. Make sure I said hello to everybody. Matthew, how are you, sir? Great to have you here. Matthew over on YouTube. Jim. All right. Hello, Stephen from Ontario. All right. You're welcome, sir. All right. So that's going to do it for this Workouts for Older Men Live. Reach out to me if you have any questions. And let's take on the day with a sense of urgency. We have to when we're a little bit older. We've got more time behind us than we do in front of us. Have a great day.